A Plaguelands Media production.
Hey everyone, this is Hugh from Plaguelands Media bringing you another graphic novel book review today. So, cheers. Today I am bringing you Brynmore, written by Steve Niles, art by Damien. Now, I am a fan of Steve Niles. My good friend Ian Van Gammett kind of got me into not only his comic books like 30 Days of Night and the October Faction, but also his novels like Criminal Macabre, things like that. So this popped up on my Amazon feed. I thought, fuck it, why not? Purchased it. Kind of regret in a way, only because I can't keep this. The story was so-so. The art, fantastic. Loved the art in this thing. The reason I can't keep it is because the quality of the book itself. Okay, what do I mean by that? You can see on the cover, and you'll see this in the review itself, has a huge kind of bend down the middle of it, running right down here. Okay, I can live with that. I do try to keep my books in pristine condition, but this is the way it came. Okay. What you are going to see in the review itself is how fucking badly this thing was put together. I'll give you a sneak preview, okay? All the pages just falling out of this fucking graphic novel. I mean, look, I literally just opened it, half the book came out. And then that half got split up. This one got, look at this. You know what? I'm not going to rant. I'm not going to rave. It is what it is. I mean, just look at the fucking spine here is just disgraceful. But you know what? You didn't come here for me to show you how badly a book was put together. You want the story. So let's jump right into the next episode of...
Read a fucking book. Read a fucking book. Read a fucking book. People.
So this is Brynmore by Steve Niles and Damien. Now, you can already see by the cover a little bit better that it came with this like fold mark down the middle, and this kind of thing, especially when it comes to graphic novels, really kind of pisses me off. This one, though, as you saw in the introduction, I'm getting rid of this. I'll probably give it to a student or something because I can't stand when the value of the book is kind of lessened by how much the thing, it just fucking deteriorates. It annoys me. I'm sorry. Cheers, everyone. So let's get into the story of Brynmore. Great cover art, by the way. So it starts with the main character, Mark Turner, going back to the island that he was raised on, Turner Island, his family's namesake. He is headed back there after his marriage has fallen apart due to, irreconcilable differences, but also he's a bit of an alcoholic who is trying to stay sober, and he's got a daughter who's currently living with his wife. And he plans to renovate the old church and turn it into a home. As he's kind of getting settled in, a stray dog comes up and befriends him, so he at least has a companion. He goes to the store to get some supplies, where he's met by people who don't like the Turner family. They don't like their legacy, which we learn about a little bit later on. He tries to kind of attack Mark, and Mark basically beats the shit out of him. Now, you can already see, I mean, look at this. This is disgusting. This is a disgraceful mess. But whatever. He gets some supplies from the store owner, and then he meets this woman. I believe her name is Becca. She lives kind of in the next lot over from the church. And she kind of befriends him and gives him some supplies. He phones his wife, hoping to be able to talk to his daughter. Trying to be very civil. Already, I mean, look at that. That page, or these pages, just fell out as I was turning that. These were not falling out before. Okay. He goes to buy some liquor, but ends up not doing it, ultimately choosing sobriety. Goes back, and as he's renovating the church, he finds, he moves this kind of pulpit thing, and he finds a staircase leading down, and there's this kind of stone thing with all these weird symbols on it. Man, this is it's just disgraceful. He goes down there, decides to kind of draw the symbols, research them, work out what they mean. He's in the library trying to find them, and Becca comes, and Becca sees these symbols and is like, I can kind of help you with this if you give me a chance. His daughter texts him saying that she can't kind of live with her mother anymore. It's becoming way too difficult. And he invites her to come and stay. When he gets back to his place, the guy that he beat up is there, and he gets the living shit kind of beat out of him. And the dog comes, and he's in a kind of a low point, so he goes to the liquor store and he buys some booze. He gets drunk and decides to go down and work out what is in that stone thing with the symbols. Meanwhile, Becca is kind of deciphering them, and they make out the word beware. But before she can go and tell him, he cracks it open, and this entity comes out of it and basically asks him, "What have you done?" Now, at this point in the story, I had no idea what Brynmore stood for. I had no idea if this guy was the bad guy or what. I was completely new, and the book was fucking falling apart. So there you have it. At the lighthouse on the island, the lighthouse keeper sees some figures coming out of the water, and those figures end up killing him. Okay. Mark talks to this creature. Becca comes and tells him, I've deciphered the message, but she sees that he's fucked up, and she's like, yeah, maybe I made a mistake. I'll catch you later, while the entity is watching. The entity we find out is Brynmore. So the book is named after this thing, this creature, whatever. Mark tries to sleep, but kind of can't. And then we see the dead from the water are all arising and coming towards the island. Now, Mark goes down to talk to Brynmore, and we find out that back in the day, a lot of people had come to this island, and the Turners, the youngest Turner, is killed by a mob, and as he's dying, he curses the island itself, and half of the island go mad and start killing the other half of the island. They go to the eldest Turner to stop the curse, which he does by summoning Brynmore, and Brynmore gets all of these crazy people that are killing the other people and drags them out into the ocean to die. And then the eldest Turner seals him in this stone coffin, but the island, not satisfied with that, hang him anyway. So that is why there is that stone coffin under the church, and the Turner name is tainted. The dead kind of come and attack everyone, and at this point, Mark's daughter arrives on the island, and he's kind of worried, like, shit's going on now. Was this a mistake bringing her here? And then she sees how the island is, as she calls it, a shithole. They get back to the church. The guy that he beat up is there because the dead have been attacking people, and this guy is just like, this is all your fault because you're a fucking Turner. And he's pointing this gun at him with his cronies, and then the dog comes in and attacks, and the guy kind of gets taken off by his friends because his arm is kind of all mangled. The daughter meets Brynmore. The dead are kind of killing people. Here is the more pages that have fallen out. Fuck's sake. And she and Brynmore kind of form a connection. They all head into the church. The dead can't actually get there, so we have Mark, Becca, his daughter, and Brynmore. The dead can't enter the church. And the guy that attacked Mark gets kind of taken out by the dead when they surround his truck. They go down into the basement of the church to try and piece the coffin back together, because that's the only way that they can stop the dead. Pardon me. And you can see the magic isn't working until Brynmore cuts Mark's hand and uses the blood on the runes to kind of get things going. Brynmore gets more power, and he basically heads out into town fighting the dead, and ultimately leads them all back into the water, and they reseal Brynmore up. Look at this thing, it's just falling apart. He gets kind of resealed back after leading the dead away, and that's it. That's the story, and everyone is happy. Look at this thing. This thing just completely fell apart as I was showing it to you. That's a fucking disgrace. Okay. What do I think of Brynmore? Art was great. Story was okay. Pretty anticlimactic. I didn't like the fact that the narrative was written in the third person. I thought this could have been better served as a first person, Mark Turner's point of view kind of story, but that's neither here nor there. Is it Steve Niles' best work? Fuck no. It's not even close. In fact, this would be one of the worst Steve Niles stories I have read. But it was still entertaining and I still enjoyed it as a graphic novel until the whole thing just fucking fell apart. I said I was going to give this to a student. I'm actually just going to go and throw this in the fucking garbage. This is absolutely disgraceful. And the publishing company, IDW, come on. This is, it's a fucking mess. But there you have it. That's Brynmore, Steve Niles, Damien Worm. Fantastic art, mediocre story at best. Do I regret buying and reading this? Fuck no. I mean, I had fun with it. I read this last night in one sitting. It was good. Relaxing, whatever. But you can find better Steve Niles stuff out there. So I would say this is Steve Niles' last resort. Last resort if you want something by Steve Niles to read. Okay, there you have it, everyone. That was Brynmore. If you enjoyed the video, like, subscribe, leave a comment, do all that stuff. It helps the channel. Tell your friends, get them to like, subscribe, and leave comments. But most importantly, of course, stay safe, have a fantastic rest of your day, and read a fucking book that is not going to fucking fall apart, people.